We'll do so right now. Drip. I think we're live. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh,
Chilling.
I love how the music ends for the beginning of the stream. That was good timing by me. I should have waited till the new song started.
It's fine.
Yeah, we're live, man. Let me get these notifications out.
Yep.
I've warned you. I warned the people who are trickling in here that I'm in a weird mood tonight.
You are. That you are.
Dude.
Make sure I got all my shit.
Oh, I didn't do Twitter. That's one thing I didn't do earlier. Was Twitter. That's my B.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that either. It's okay. How's everybody doing? Power Mad says no. He would not buy a digital-only Nintendo Switch.
My notification for my Discord just got pooed for some reason. Power Mad says no. That's correct. He said that a long time ago. Okay, let me fix this.
Yo, Chess, what's up?
Chess in the house. What's up, man? Chess is showing up like, yo, I thought we were going tonight. Where are you guys at? No. Yo.
Hello from San Diego.
San Diego. What's up, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
Fly like a G6, Matt. What's up, dude? It's a throwback.
That is old. Yeah, it's old. That's old school.
I'm an old man. We just talked
Ready?
about
Let
that
me
too.
know. What's up, dude? Yo, Power Mad.
If you're here for the podcast, everybody, if you're watching live with us, or if you guys are watching this after the podcast, this live stream has already been completed. We're going to be in the podcast. We're doing the pre-show right now, which you wouldn't know because I didn't select the right scene. And there, I fixed it. We're in the pre-show. If you want to watch us in the actual recording of the episode, just feel free to scrub a little bit in the future. If you're watching after the fact, again, if you're live, I mean, you could attempt to scrub in the future. I don't know if that's going to work for you. As far as I know, I haven't done things I haven't done yet.
What?
As far as I know, I haven't done things that haven't been done yet.
No, I don't know. That sounds confusing. I'm not sure. Hey, look at this. I had to do another video for these people who do these rings. Look at this little case they sent. Look at this. It spins and everything. Can you see it?
I do. That is so beautiful.
Like, how fancy is that, right?
That is so beautiful.
Hopefully I win the ring for our fantasy football in the Discord, so I can put my ring in there and just keep it.
Yeah, Megwan, have a good night. A good night, man. Thanks for popping in. Have fun at table tennis. And guys, we got Chess in the chat. If you guys want to follow, subscribe to Chess on YouTube here, feel free. He's gonna be our guest next week on the podcast after Mario Wonder. That's gonna be fucking fantastic. Can't wait to chat with
I'm
you,
looking
dude.
forward to Mario Wonder. It's gonna be so good.
Oh my god, it's actually downloaded on my Switch now. I just got the email.
They keep putting more stuff out on like Twitter, and I just keep not looking. I'm just like I know enough. I'm good. I don't want to see anything else about it.
I opened my Switch up and I see the icon. I got real excited, and of course, as one does.
Yes, as one does.
You try to open it, knowing well,
but it might.
Yeah,
it might.
Maybe there is a glitch in the Matrix, and you get to play it.
I do that all the time. Like when I pre-order, it's like, oh, there it is. Let's just we'll give it a shot. It's like, no, it can't be played.
Yeah. Chess, yeah, it should be available if you bought it on the US eShop. It should be available right around midnight.
Yeah, that's how they've been doing it. It was different for a while, but yeah, it should be there.
If you bought it on a different eShop, like if you guys didn't know, you can still you can make different country accounts and put them onto your Switch. So like if you want to buy a Japanese version of a game and not the American eShop version, you can download the Japanese eShop version of the game, for example. But sometimes they also, for pre-orders, they release games early like that. What region is it that they open early? Like you can play the day before. What region?
Australia.
That's a good.
That's one that I know a lot of people use.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, I made an account. I've never bought anything on it. It's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just wait.
Yeah, I'll just wait too. I mean, unless
I don't do game reviews really, so it's not like I really need it early. You know what I mean?
If I had like a serious, like, not that my audience isn't serious, but you know what I mean? Like if I had like a significant audience, I sound so rude. Neither that's correct. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was like a big streamer.
If you needed to do it, yeah.
I'm not
a
big streamer. I'm just a small little guy, you know? But if I was a big streamer and like getting it the day before would be financially, you know, would make sense.
Well, you can try it out some places at Targets. They've got it in their little kiosks at Targets.
Oh yeah, right, with the kiosks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those videos, YouTube Shorts and stuff.
You're a big Pikmin streamer. That's right. You are a big Pikmin streamer. That's true.
I mean, not really. That ship sailed like pretty soon after the. I mean, I got plenty of people to come into the YouTube channel and stuff, but like, it's not like I was remaining. It wasn't like I kept having thousands of people join the stream. That was a one-time thing, and probably will never happen again. And what a time that was. I'm gonna reflect on that later, but like, that was a wild day. What a day that was. Just like fucking Tuesday was. By the way, Drip, we're gonna talk about. We'll plug it later on the podcast tonight. But like, you start streaming on Monday, right? I'm back on Twitch.
Correct.
You made your Twitch return on Monday. I made my return the day after because of how fun it was to see you on Twitch again. I was like, man, I need to get back on there. And then I did get back on Tuesday, and dude, you were there. It was wild. I mean, people were there. It was just a great time.
It was. Yeah, your stream was wild, man.
Not expecting any of that after being gone for 6 months. And by the way, I really should have said 12, or like 11, because 6 is underselling how long it's really been since my consistent Twitch stuff. Because I looked at my analytics, I was on Twitch in December, January, February, March, April, but like from January to April, I may have streamed like 3 hours each month. You know what I mean? Like, I did one stream per month for like 4 months. That's not, that's nothing.
No, I looked back at mine. It literally had been, oh my god, it's been so long, like crazy long.
Yeah, but 6 months, it worked out. What a night. By the way, how you doing, Power Man? Power Man, we're gonna agree on that, man. I'm also not a fan of digital in terms of collecting. Like, I prefer to have both options because I buy games digitally these days just as often as I do physically. It's not. I've actually surpassed and bought more digital games recently than physical, but that does not mean I want them to go away. But we're gonna have a long, nice debate about that tonight.
Yeah, we are.
Multiple layers. We got a nice show planned for you guys.
We do.
If you guys have not yet already, please like the stream. It would do us a big favor. It would help us out a ton. If you wouldn't mind liking that stream, let people know that you are enjoying this content and would like more people to follow suit.
Sorry,
You're good.
Pulling stuff up here, making sure we're good. Get better deals with physical. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Can't really argue that unless you're on Steam.
I'm going to share that to my YouTube account. Haven't done that in a little bit. What's up, Ty? How you doing, man? Ty's got a question for you, dude.
Any thoughts on the Ronin? Hold on a second. I mean, it's okay. I pretty much said all of it in the video. It's all right. It's not. I mean, it's the Satisfy stuff's good. It's just not. That's not what I use. It's cool if you like Satisfy grips. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It docks just like you would imagine it would dock. The one thing I didn't say in the video, after I got done editing and realized I didn't put it in there, I almost put it in there, but the only thing is with those, it's the same thing with the Skull and Kill. If you've got the bigger grips on there, it's got one small thing that you can't do. You can't plug things into the side of your dock when you put that in there because the little handles are too big. It hits the USB cables that are sticking out of the side. I mean, other than that, it's fine.
I would actually like to talk to you for the Ronin, talk about the Ronin with you for a second. I'm gonna grab my regular Satisfy here so I can talk and kind of explain with my hands too. On your review today was awesome, by the way. I was like,
thank you.
I know it was a great video because I was watching it and like forgetting the fact that it was like an edited thing. It was like I was watching it and I felt like it was like an actual conversation like we were having almost. I was like, oh,
good,
right. So that was good edit, good job.
Thanks,
but,
appreciate that.
So I'm like, on the Ronin,
yeah,
you know what's right here on the Ronin, right? The game cards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I will never buy the Ronin in its current form.
Because of that
one,
it's
as
sharp.
Small as it is.
Yeah. No, they're sharp.
When I hold my Satisfy, this is I'm not exaggerating. This is how I hold it.
Yeah, your fingers would be
my
right
fingers
over
would be
it.
right on top of it.
Like I sat there when I was using it and like picked at it the whole time.
This is my
And
favorite
it's sharp too. It's not like
yeah.
it's like rounded. It's sharp. So
what a awful choice. Like, dude.
yeah, I don't know why I don't
why
like
not
that
the top?
really.
Why would they not just include that on the top?
It wouldn't fit on the top. I don't think it would fit.
It's the same thickness.
Either way,
the very top.
it doesn't need to be there.
I agree with that. Just altogether, just get rid of it. But if it must be there, there is another. You can't tell me there's not other places for it.
Yeah, it was a bad place to put it for sure.
You know me. I am the biggest Satisfy grip fan there probably is. I can't recommend this thing enough for people who appreciate a good offset stick.
If you would put some cartridges in there, maybe it wouldn't bother you as much.
What do you mean?
I don't know though. I don't have any. I mean, I have like.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, if I put cartridges.
If you had something in there and you couldn't feel the sharp edges, I don't have it down here. It's upstairs.
To be fair, I haven't held it yet. So if I were to get a chance to hold it and actually try it, maybe I'd feel differently.
I don't know,
but
man.
As of right now, that's literally exactly where my fingers go, and that is so comfortable for me. The fact that that's now a sharp edge where we put a cartridge.
It is.
Like
it is.
It's just a bad idea in my opinion. But again,
I don't think it was a great idea either. I didn't really want to like rip on it too hard because I don't. It is what it is. Like some people aren't going to care about that at all.
Right.
For me, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't have the one down here. I've got this other one I was using for as example, but
right.
I was the whole time I'm playing, I'm like picking at it. So
yeah,
it's fine.
You know, actually, I forgot. I actually deleted our Twitch links from our bio to clean things up, and I added your second channel in place, to clean everything up. And I forgot. Like, I'm gonna recommend people go to Twitch tonight, but the links aren't gonna be there. So I'm gonna go grab those links real fast, just in the off chance people are not following us on Twitch. At this point, I feel like a lot of these people watching our stream tonight probably is on Twitch with us. Let's see here.
Yo, that one girl, what's up?
Yo, what's up? Good to see you.
For physical games, cartridges. Everybody prefers physical games. I'm gonna be the bad guy tonight. There's no way around it. I am the bad guy tonight. I am the digital monster. Just call me the digital monster. It's fine.
Excuse me.
Get out. Screw Twitch. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I agree, but nothing digital. For physical. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I had a lot of fun a few nights ago on Twitch. And by the way, guys, if you're hanging out right now, I will be live on Twitch after this stream is over, this podcast is over. So we'll be ending things up here. I'll be resetting up for that and going live within 15 minutes after the ending of this. So just FYI. And the Twitch
probably
links
a short after show.
Yeah, for sure. And the links are in the description now. Twitch links are there. Both Drip and I both, because we are both streaming on Twitch again.
Yay!
I missed it, dude. I missed it. I really did. I missed it the whole time I was away. Oh.
Yeah. I need to be streaming somewhere. And I was gonna do it on that second channel, but then I started posting videos about other stuff, and they're like doing good. So I don't really want to mess with streaming on that channel. Like for that, I am gonna stream on that channel though. I think, like we were talking about, just editing things.
Yeah.
Like actually doing things on my iPad or doing things that actually go with that channel.
Yes, I think
I had a company reach out to me about doing a video on a microphone, which I might do on that channel.
Is it a microphone that works with an iPad?
It's just a microphone. I'm not. That channel doesn't have to be about just iPad stuff. It just is right now.
Wait, they're already reaching out to you on that channel?
No, it was for my channel. But I already told them, I was like, I'm not doing a review on my channel, but like this channel, that's something I would be okay with doing.
I'd be very jealous if you're already getting people reaching out.
No, I don't even have contact information on that channel. I don't think. I mean, I guess I could make contact information.
What's up, Alex? I thought that was Power Man that said screw Twitch, not Alex. Alex says screw Twitch. Why the sudden screw Twitch mantra, Alex? You used to watch your streams all the time. Makes me sad. Do you hate Twitch now? Digital console wouldn't hurt as an option. I would agree with that, Alex, for sure. I really would. I think that would be a good thing for the market, because then it would introduce probably a cheaper Switch, if that's what it meant. If it meant for a cheaper Switch option, yeah, I think that'd be a good option.
I'm sure. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it. I'm sure it's gonna be cheaper if it is an option. Like, but it'd be weird if it was just the same price.
Well, I guess maybe they're thinking of, like I said before, was it last week's podcast, the week before? I'd said how they could do different, kind of like how the Steam Deck does it, where there's different features for each one, and it's increasing features as you go. So the lowest tier one would have no card slot, but then you move up to the next tier and it does. I mean, that's a possibility. We'll get into that tonight. Don't worry, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can see I don't have an absolute butt ton, but I definitely have some physical games. Just like this Luigi's Mansion game that I'll be playing live on Twitch after the stream, link down below.
I have like 5, 6, maybe more than that physical games here. I have more Wii U games than anything.
Yeah, I got a few back there. Yeah, I got Samus on top of them. You see, I'm glad I bought them when I did, because they've not skyrocketed, but they've gone up in price since I purchased my Wii U games.
Are they starting to go up? I bet they are now that the shop's gone.
I saw a copy of Breath of the Wild in store for like $40, and I was like, man, I bought that for like $20.
Used?
Yeah, mine was used as well, but I mean, come on, the disc. As long as there's no scratches on it, and the case is fine, which both of those things were. The case was fine, good condition case. Most importantly, the artwork was fine. And when I'm doing some of my Wii U games, I just bought like a pack of 7 of the blue cases, OEM blue cases, for like $10. And then just, if the artwork was fine condition, like my Wind Waker one, my case was messed up, but the artwork is fine. So I just put the artwork in a new case. The disc is fine.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah,
I got
so
you.
It's like, it's like pseudo restored.
It's a little refresh.
Yeah.
I got you. Boom. Ba-bum. All right. I think I'm good to go here.
Good to
I
go?
always forget stuff. Yeah. If you want to start, we can go. What time is it? How much time have we been going here?
About 17 minutes. So we can go anytime we want here. Excuse me. Guys, please like this stream if you haven't done so already. That would do us a favor. Get people into the stream who have not already clicked on it. As well as share this if you have any place you want to share your Facebooks, your Twitters. We got a Twitter, so you can add us on Twitter. I'm going to call Twitter forever and pretend like I forget that it's called X, but I don't forget.
Are we really supposed to be calling it just X?
That's what its name is, and I refuse. It's Twitter. It's what it is. Just because you change.
We just, like, that's so weird.
It's because.
Like, oh, yeah, X.
Yeah. It's almost like when you buy a dog who has a name already. The word has escaped me. When you, not rent a dog, when you save a dog.
I've never seen dog rentals. That's a new thing to me.
Save a dog, but not save. Oh my God, what's the word?
When you rescue a dog?
Rescue. It was an R word. I kept losing it. Rescue.
Rent.
When you adopt. That one too.
That's another one. Yeah.
When you.
I like rent.
When you adopt a dog.
Not just rent it. It's fine.
I mean, some people treat it like that, and it's kind of terrible.
Couple weeks, and we'll see ya.
When you adopt a dog, where even was I going with this now?
I have no idea.
I've lost it completely. I'm in a weird mood tonight, everyone.
Oh, the name, yeah. Well, Chauncey had a name. When I got him, he already had a name.
You're one of those people who changed the name of a dog.
His name was Cowboy.
Okay,
His name was fucking Cowboy. Yeah, I changed it. His brother's name was Dallas.
Right, we've talked about this before. You did the world a service by changing Chauncey's name. Listen, if you were like, hey, if Chauncey's name into the community was Cowboy, it would not have taken off as much as Chauncey's. Chauncey was, rest in peace, rest his soul, a devilishly handsome name and boy.
Oh yeah, the name
Chauncey
fit perfectly.
Fit
oh yeah,
perfectly.
What a great he was a great animal. Great animal with a great name.
That's right.
All around.
Exactly. So I might be taking back what I was gonna say, because maybe changing the name sometimes is good. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go. See,
I've talked myself out of my own argument.
I love that. Let's get this started.
Let's do it. Turn that music off.
No. All right, there.
Go Phillies! Orlando Mata! Hell
Orlando!
Yeah. Let's go! NLCS Braves can kiss my sweet ass. This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey everyone, and welcome everyone to the Triple G Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Host Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You just become a member of this podcast and get extra podcast content every single month. We actually just had our members podcast for September on Tuesday. A couple weeks late. We apologize for that. We had a great.
It happened though. It doesn't matter. We did it.
We had a fantastic conversation, Drip. We talked about what did we talk about? We talked about
our favorite
memories. Yes,
gaming.
we did. And we also mostly Nintendo stuff, obviously, but we also talked about the PlayStation 5, and that was a topic we don't usually talk about on the show. Normally, because it's a PlayStation thing. So if you guys want to check out that conversation, I recommend it. Become a member. Click the link down below. $5 a month. It supports the stream and gets you some extra content. So it's a win-win for everybody. Drip, how are you doing, man? I messed up the intro. I think that intro was actually perfect. I'm gonna leave the Phillies thing in. I'm gonna leave the crowd.
Was that fair?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave the crowd noise. I started the music on with the crowd noise, like it was still going. I think that was a perfect intro.
All right. Well, I mean, I love it. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing all right. Hanging out.
We're a Nintendo podcast, but I will just say for a second, in our live chat here, we'll record this podcast live, obviously, and in the live chat, somebody just said go Phillies because the Phillies beat the Braves. I know nobody out there probably cares about that, but me in Orlando and Atomic if you're out there. But yeah. Phillies beat them, and that's as much as we'll talk about.
I don't want to talk about my sports stuff right now at all.
Oh, no.
After what happened last night, I cannot believe what happened. Did you see what happened?
No, West Virginia was basketball.
They scored a touchdown with 12 seconds. Like it was like 12 seconds to go to take the lead. It was it was basically done. The game was done, and they gave him enough time to go down the field, a Hail Mary, and they got it. They caught the ball with no time left on the clock, and we actually lost. It was awful. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's okay. You just talked about it, but that's okay.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Other than that, it's been a pretty good week.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. My week, dude. Last night, oh man, I just want to talk about the Phillies some more because last night was wild for me. I I was getting a fever from how nervous, all the nervous energy was creating a fever. I had gotten ice cold water, and dumped it on a towel, and it was on my head for an hour, and I was still warm.
What?
It was wild. Was getting a legit fever. That's how nervous all that nervous energy was manifesting into.
I mean,
Anyway, we don't need to talk about that anymore. Drip, I don't think you have a beer this week, my friend. Do you drinking anything?
I don't. I have nothing.
You have no water even?
I have water.
I was going to say, how do you talk for this long without water? I can't live like that.
I do have water. I have a bottle of water.
Well, if you wouldn't mind hitting that music for me, because I actually do have a couple things to share with you guys for Beer Week. Before we get to our Nintendo topics, don't worry, we'll get to those. I have with me, sir, a couple here. Two, actually three. Do I have three? I drank the other one, but I have three cool options to show you right now. All Angry Orchard options. So Angry Orchard traditional cider, of course. Can't go wrong with the old Angry Orchard. Turn that down just a tad, please. It's a wee lad. So it's a variety pack. So then we in this other one, it's so shiny you can barely read it. This is the no, it isn't. It is the baked apple pie flavor.
Ooh.
I just drank that whole thing while we were doing the
Okay, so what's
stuff.
that one? That one's different, clearly, right?
So there's also cinnamon in this pack, and this basically just tastes like cinnamon with like caramel sugar flavor as well as the
I mean, those are pretty
cinnamon.
sugary anyway.
It's too sweet, too watered down. It was sweet and watered down tasting at the same time. Not a big fan of that. And then I also have with me, I'll open it a little bit later, the green apple.
Ooh, I bet that one's good.
So again, it's suffering from a bit of the watered down taste. I don't know why.
I haven't had an Angry Orchard in so long.
My last Angry Orchard was on tap at it was called Wakanda Fest. It's like an in-town festival. And, dude, Angry Orchard on tap was incredible. If you have the opportunity to get Angry Orchard on tap, please do so. It's a life-changing experience. But so I'm not a fan of the cans. Cans don't taste that great.
We used to drink. Do you remember Woodchuck?
Do I remember, dude? No. How old?
Woodchuck was like the original like hard apple cider. It was way before Angry Orchard.
Dude, I'm only 21 years old, Drip. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, it was probably before your time, honestly. Now that I'm thinking about it, so I don't know.
I'm not 21. I wish I was.
They had 2 flavors. They were kind of like that. One was green, one was red.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that. But yeah, those are my beers of the week. They're tasty. I'm drinking way too much beer by the time this night is ended. This is gonna be like one of the old episodes we used to do where both got really tipsy.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be. I'm just going to be completely sober. You're going to be the one.
I'm going to get a little bit tipsy because I'm also going live on Twitch after this. And
so that'll. Oh yeah. By the end of that, we should have some interesting content to
tune in for that. if you're in the live stream, that's for funsies. Drip, we got a show for you guys. I need to pull up the pod room. I do have the pod room pulled up here. We're gonna get right into the conversation right now, Drip. We're gonna get right into it. Our headliner is: would you buy an all-digital Nintendo Switch 2? And that's what we're gonna begin with here. Obviously, if you're watching the stream or clicked on the video, you saw that title. We're gonna get to it right now. Drip, I'm gonna ask you the questions just straight up to start off with.
You know the answer.
Just straight up. Would you buy the all-digital Switch 2 over the physical edition? We're not talking about price or anything like that. Just like you have the option, you can afford both. Does price isn't a factor? Which one are you buying? All digital or the physical version?
I'm probably getting the digital one. I'm all digital. I don't need physical media. I have no desire to collect plastic anymore. Not that kind of plastic. I got all kinds of other knickknacks and bullshit here. Legos. That's enough. I don't need it taking up space on my shelves. I would rather have everything digital right there. And another thing I like about that too is, I don't know, you talk about the price and how that's not a factor or whatever, but like that is going to be a factor, right? It's got to be. I mean, I got the all digital. I have the digital Xbox. I have the digital PlayStation. I do have a disc version of the PlayStation as well, but I got that one after.
You're saying the price is a factor, like it's going to be a cheaper console?
I would imagine, right?
Well,
I mean, that's how it is with all the other ones.
I think it's going to be, and I think I've talked about this was it last week even? We talked about it in the pre-show a second ago. I kind of feel like if they do that, right, if they do a digital version and a physical version in the same generation here, I almost feel like, and if they're released at the same time, I kind of feel like it's going to be a tier thing, very similar to the Steam Deck, where the base Steam Deck is all the console it is, just like the top tier is, but you just get different features and added features as you go up the tiers. So I feel like maybe all digital might be the lowest tier one, the cheapest option, and then there's a middle tier and a higher tier Switch 2. And that's what if there's a difference in price, that's what I feel like that's what it's going to be. Otherwise, you're not getting the same price physical console as well as a digital console. They're not going to be the same price. That makes no sense.
No. Well, and this is something we talked about a couple weeks ago. And
unless your PlayStation and your digital one costs more than your physical when it comes down to it.
Yeah. There's that too. But listen, here's what I wanted to run by you with this stuff. Okay. So as far as price goes, let's just say there is a digital version, there is a physical version. That cartridge slot, it's not like we're talking about a Blu-ray disc drive here.
Right.
We're talking about a cartridge slot, like something.
Yes, that's
not expensive.
Yeah,
like
it's barely bigger than an SD card slot.
I mean, what I don't know, but I mean, what would something like that even actually cost?
Oh, I mean, the cost
pennies.
The same thing it costs. Whatever it costs in metal is what it costs. It's not very expensive.
Nothing. Yeah, it's not like it's got a motor in it that's spinning the disc and doing.
Right. That's a significant. If you ever seen a disc drive out of a console or something like that,
yeah,
it's a pretty substantial.
And what's Sony charging for theirs? $80 for the detachable one for the new ones.
Yeah, in all reality, it's probably like $20 worth of
but I mean,
stuff. Maybe even less than that, probably. But there's quality and stuff like that involved.
So what you're saying about like the tiers, I feel like to add to that, if it is, and that's where you kind of get messed up too. To make it a price difference, it's actually like, like this makes sense. You would think that maybe the other one had more storage. Maybe that would be something.
Yeah, it could be like, again, look at the Steam Deck, for example.
Yeah. Those are the storage. And I got the 64 gig
storage, RAM,
Steam Deck. Yeah.
storage speed, not just the storage capacity.
See,
but the
that's where I don't
storage
think
speed.
Nintendo will go. I don't think they'll touch anything like
I
that.
know. I'm just saying there's many things that can be done.
Like Xbox has done that with the Series S and X, but I don't think as far as like performance, I think all of them will be the same performance wise. I would imagine.
Well, storage speed
Nintendo likes to keep it pretty simple with that type of stuff.
Storage speed is not performance per se. It's just like basically load times. And
Yeah. You're talking about like an SSD
times.
or
Yeah.
I mean, it still is performance. I mean, as far as load times go, it makes it load faster.
Yeah, but
it has better performance as far as
I hear you.
that type of thing. I know what you mean. Not like actual like specs. Like the games actually look better.
Right. So
I would definitely get a digital, man. I would want a digital. I don't want to have to deal with all the other media. I don't want to have to deal with the cases, the putting cartridges in and out. I like to have it all right there. Just go to the menu, go to my games.
I understand.
Click on that game.
I understand you there.
Go.
And I like collecting, right? So there is a part of me that is a collector, and especially if I had more money going on in my life, I probably would buy even more. Like I just watched Beat 'em Up's his video he posted today about his trip to Japan. I watched Metal just this morning. Coincidentally, I also watched Metal Jesus Rocks, or what is
Oh yeah.
something like that in some order there. Metal Jesus Rocks. He went to Japan and posted his vlog this morning as well.
Everybody's just hanging out in Japan.
Yeah, I love Japan vlogs. Elliot Coyle of the Retro Future also went to Japan, and again, I love to consume that content. I'm just a
Japan
fan.
season.
Oh man, apparently Japan's like the place to go now for gaming. I mean, not that it's like a new thing, but like people are doing it now more than they have been before.
I'd love to go.
So yeah, I
just looked at my passport. I'm old, dude. My passport expires next February.
I don't have a passport. I've never needed.
Those things last like 10 years, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm sure I had one from when I was a kid. I had one because we went to Canada to see the falls, the Niagara Falls. But anyway, back to the Switch.
Yeah.
Now you've distracted me. Now I can't remember what.
Sorry.
What were we just saying? Drip.
Oh, we were talking about how much better digital games are than physical games.
Let me continue my point. So a part of me is a physical collector. I love that stuff. But also a part of me is a deal bargainer, and I love a good deal. And let's say I'm playing a game that I bought. Here's a good example. Sonic Frontiers is a game I bought physical that I thought I would want more than I now realize I do in terms of physical game. I could sell Sonic Frontiers right now if I wanted to, get some of that money back that I don't, I played the game, I'm done with it, and I don't really need to collect it anymore. I don't feel like it ended up not being so strong emotionally with me. That's the games I like to keep. The games I keep all the way up there are the ones I feel strongly about emotionally, and I like to keep them for keepsake reasons.
Yeah.
So the option to resell your game either on eBay or just give it back to GameStop if you're that kind of person. I like to go on eBay, sell it on there, get a little bit extra for my games.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can at least
Facebook
make
Marketplace is probably the best place, something like that, thrift store or whatever. Get some money back for the games is sorry, my phone went off. Yeah, but that's definitely a perk that is when you buy a game physical.
Yeah, it is. No, I mean there's no debate there whatsoever.
Yeah,
you do have the ability to resell it. I mean, for me, it's like that's where the balance is. Where it's like, which one do you really want to be able to resell it, or do you want the convenience? Because you're kind of giving up one or the other.
Yeah. So like for me, Drip, I'm trying to say like you wouldn't, even if you had the option, the prices were the same. That was the question. Money's not a factor here. You would still choose the digital over. You don't even want the option.
Don't need it.
So why was it in our members podcast that most people didn't hear because you're not a member? If, by the way, you become a member of this podcast, the link's down below. But we just did a members podcast this Tuesday, and we talked about the PlayStation situation and the pricing issue. And you had said, why would you buy the digital version of the
digital
console.
one. Yeah.
You should buy the physical one because it's cheaper when you're considering the price of the disc reader.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we were talking
you're
about
right
price
you're,
at
and
that
you're
point.
saying right now that
Right.
for the Switch, no, I buy digital. I would buy the digital.
Yeah, it's handheld too. That makes a huge difference.
Okay, I understand. Okay, it's handheld, but dude,
Plus, we were talking
saying
about
price isn't a factor
price
here.
specifically at that point. It would make more sense just to buy the other one and have the disc drive, especially for something like that. Like I said, handheld, nah, I don't care. I don't even want it. I don't want to deal with it. But like, I don't know, this thing just sits here. If you're sitting right beside it, it's not a big deal. Like, oh yeah, like your buddy, like I said, has a copy of whatever for $20. You're like, yeah, whatever, I want to play it. $20.
The Switch is a hybrid though. It's not purely a handheld.
It is. Okay. But it doesn't have to stay there.
I'm just
I don't
wondering.
play it just here. This I play literally just sitting here.
All right, okay. I don't understand how you would say that. Why would you buy the digital version of the PS5, get the physical version, and then you would say, well, for Switch 2, I'd only buy digital.
I just told you, because then you yeah, I'm fine with that. If I'm sitting here and it's like, if I do want to play that and someone offers it to me, honestly. I was talking about that more in just a general term of like, yeah, why don't you just buy that one? For me, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to buy a disc from somebody, probably. But I'm saying that is an option that it could happen to someone out there. And maybe it would be better to just have the option, especially when you consider the price. That's all.
So this is where
why are you on me about this so hard?
About what?
This.
The whole issue, well, I mean, that's what we're doing an episode on it, so clearly it's something
okay,
we're talking about
today. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know.
Well,
for me, personally.
Okay, let me tell you why I'm so on you about this. Is because I feel like, Drip, respectfully, you are stuck thinking about the present and have absolutely no foresight when we're talking about this issue specifically. You have no foresight when it comes to the physical media, okay?
I do.
And also,
I do.
you're underselling the importance of owning your games. Now, let me hold on. I know that we don't own our games right now because I know there's still technically a physical license. I do understand that. It's not you can't just use your physical copies and rip them like a CD, which CDs are also, you can't do that with CDs either. But you can't just rip your games and that's technically pirating and whatever, blah 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 blah. What I'm saying is, even though the updates aren't there, like if you bought a cartridge on a Switch and in 30 years you go to play that cartridge, Pokemon for example, all the patches won't be there because only on day one. I understand that. But at least in 30 years, you have that cartridge and you can pop it in and you don't have the patches, sure. But at least you have what's on the cartridge. Unless it's the cartridges that have the extra digital downloads that's not required, that is a different conversation. And honestly, this conversation can go in so many different ways. I guess we're having a hard time kind of picking which way this is going to go here tonight.
Well, okay, let me add to that. 30 years ago, okay. I mean, I don't have a copy of the original Mario game.
Yeah.
But damn it, that is easy to play just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Literally anywhere. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. Like, I understand that it's a little bit different now. These games are a little bit bigger. But as technology continues to evolve, and that's another thing too. And I think that's a conversation I want to have with you about this in a little bit.
Hold on, Drip. You know why that game's so easy to play right now?
Why?
Because it was ripped off the cartridge illegally, and now that ROM is just out there, and people have it, whether Nintendo likes it or not. And it's everywhere.
Nintendo has it on their own consoles to play. The current console.
It does
from Nintendo.
It does, but here's actually a perfect. You just walked perfectly into a good argument for me, because if the games are always digital now in the future, if they're digital, there is no ripping the game for your own sake unless you're really hacking. Which maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. Do people hack digital copies of games?
Sure it is, yeah.
Can people actually hack digital games? I thought people only can hack the physical stuff.
I would imagine that there's probably a way to do it.
Maybe.
I don't know for sure. I don't do that. But I'm saying...
Pending that bit of information, assuming that they can't do that, right? If there is no physical game to rip and to preserve like you can in the original Mario game, because Nintendo can just say, hey, Breath of the Wild, 30 years from now, they're like, hey, Breath of the Wild, that lives on the Nintendo Switch. Unless you got that cartridge, you're not playing it. We haven't re-released that game ever since, and it's just not coming out. Or what's a game that comes out for the Switch 2 that's all digital Switch 2 in this hypothetical world? If it's a digital only release, we never got a cartridge to begin with. So that is just locked to that system forever and ever, pending people can really start hacking.
Or I was going to say,
out.
that's you assuming that there's no way to get that digital game off there some other way.
There probably is.
Yeah. Okay. That was my point that I was going to.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with digital right now, that the physical collectors have, that you have, is preservation.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue. I think we can agree on that, right?
It's preservation.
I understand that later on down the road, on, there's going to be these games that are lost, and that happens. But I don't know. To me, it's like, if it's that good of a game, somebody's re-releasing it, because they do it all the time. It literally happens nonstop. Games that people want to play, they're re-released on this. Yeah. They're remastered on this. Okay. They're done this way, that way. I will agree with you, though. The fact that some of these servers shut down, that has to be fixed. Especially if we're doing all digital.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
If we're doing all digital, that's what needs to happen. I think that would probably help a lot of people be okay with what's happening with the all digital stuff and not having a physical game to put in there. If we knew, okay, there's these, I don't know, these servers that are sitting at this place, and like, this is like the history of video games. Everything is out here. This is where it goes. This is where it's kept safe. Like, if there was a thing like that, I think everybody would probably feel a lot better about the situation. I do understand that side of it. I just don't know. I just don't care as much as I guess other people do. Because once I play a game, I don't know. I've played it. I come back to it. Zelda games. Yeah, I do. I have a lot of those physical for that reason. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of games that I'm like, yeah, it'll probably be released on something else, because they tend to do that a lot because they know they can make money again re-releasing it, or putting it like Nintendo does on a online system where we can just pay for our online and we get these old consoles with all these games. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're going to start using it to their advantage in lots of different ways, that's for sure. And I think the Nintendo Online stuff is one way we're seeing that, because they got rid of the virtual console, which is still digital games, but they kind of got rid of that completely, so you can't even re-buy it from them. Like, we've talked about this before. They're forcing you to get the online if you want to play those games. So they're kind of like gatekeeping them a little bit with that.
Yeah.
To get you to get to on their service.
So I've had some time to think as you were talking. I was listening, of course, but I was thinking about what I was going to say here. It's a bigger issue than just gaming. We'll get into the what Best Buy is doing in next year, and possibly Walmart in a minute here. But it's a bigger issue than just gaming. And it is this control that companies have over us with digital, and particularly services. If you didn't know, there haven't always been a subscription service for everything like there is today. Like, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're older than I.
I did know this. I'm 100. I was watching VHS tapes,
do you know why that there are so many subscription services nowadays than compared to before? Do you know why, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they want to be able to control the content. They want to be able to hold that content.
That's one big reason, yeah.
I mean, it's their own stuff. They make it. They want to be able to control it.
And
there's basically the reasoning behind a lot of it.
There's one bigger reason than that. That's a big one, but there's one bigger reason than that. The biggest reason is money.
No,
money is the biggest reason.
My reason is the reason. Yeah, it's money.
It's controlling their content, but it's all under the umbrella of money, and it costs more for the consumer for everything to be a subscription service. Like you said a second ago, the Nintendo Switch Online is subscription. And if you were just to buy those games outright, would be cheaper. The games you want, rather than every single individual game that offers in the subscription. If you just were to buy the ones that you wanted and forego all the other ones, it would save you money in the long run. Maybe not in the first year.
A ton.
Maybe not in the first year or two, But in
Well,
let's say,
think about it. What do we pay for Switch Online?
I mean, I am on with my brother.
Okay, it's like $50 for the thing,
Excuse me.
the expansion
Let's
pack.
go with the individual one, not
So
the
it's like what,
family
30?
plan.
25?
With
I
the
can't remember.
no, it's more than that. I think with the individual expansion pack, I
it's
believe
50.
it's 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So-
let's times that since they've offered it. They've offered this the expansion pack was 2021.
Yes.
We'll say that. I think that's right.
I think that's right too. That sounds right.
And 2021 to when the Switch when you're going to stop paying for it, which assume you're the person we're building a hypothetical person here, and this hypothetical person had it since day one and canceled it the second the Nintendo canceled themselves, which would be the last year of the console's life. So that would be what until 2025. We'll say you want to say that 2025.
So $200
$200. $200. Okay, if you just were to buy, let's say, 10 of those games instead of having all access to all of them all the time for,
And what
for
are they
5
like
years,
$7 a piece?
they buy them for like $7-10 a piece. It's not $200. So I mean,
it's
I
not.
don't think I need to tell anybody unless you're.
Well,
dumb.
most people, that's the thing. Most people aren't going to buy. You're right. Most people aren't buying $200 worth of virtual console games. Most people are buying 1, 2, maybe 3. You know, or then they'll see this one like, oh, I remember playing that. It's $5. Let me get that.
And you'll play a lot more than the ones that you'd theoretically buy because they're there. But you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But if you wouldn't actually want to play or want to purchase most of those games, you really would only want a select handful of those. This hypothetical person.
Well, and I do agree with like the subscription stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that, especially now as far as that's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that. Now buying like one digital game for the price of the game on a system, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you are kind of roped into all this stuff, and it's like Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, Ahsoka, awesome. The Star Wars stuff, awesome. I'm watching Loki right now. But, I mean, I don't know. How much of the other stuff on there do I watch? My kids watch it, I guess. They watch a lot of stuff on there, but I canceled the HBO. What is it now? Just Max?
Yeah.
I just didn't use it. But they want to rope you in for this. I mean, at least they don't make you do like a contract for a year. I guess that's good. You can get out whenever you want.
I really feel like TV and the movie industry, the entertainment industry in that sense, well, I'll just call it TV, but you know what I mean, TV and movies. The Netflixes, the Disney Pluses. I feel like while it's still all those things still apply in terms of the control they have, and you're spending more money than you should be, is all still valid there. I feel like that industry's it's been long enough now that I feel like they got it down where the consumer understands that I can purchase this for as long as I want. I can subscribe to this for as long as I want and cancel whenever I want and come back whenever I want. I feel like with games, that's just not, at least how I play games, that's just not how, that won't work for me, right? I play games at my leisure. And sometimes a game I really like, maybe I'll only play it for like 3 hours in a month, but I still want to finish that game. So if I'm trying to subscribe to play a game, I'm going to have to spend a year's worth for the game because I'm going to want to play it every month, but maybe not as much as...
I mean, I agree with you on that.
So I think gaming doesn't really apply the same way as movies and TVs do. Because I can...
Well, as far as the streaming or the services...
I'm canceling Hulu tomorrow because I've watched the show I wanted to watch. I subscribed for 2 months, and that's what I paid $14 for a season of television. And I'm canceling, and I'm good until the next season's out or there's something else on Hulu I want to watch. I'm going to remain canceled. And I feel like that's the way a consumer can handle
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. The subscription stuff
doesn't work with gaming, in my opinion. I don't think that kind of... There are people out there. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there.
Well, I mean,
who
Game
that would
Pass,
work
it does work. The model works. Game Pass. I mean, it's basically Netflix for games.
I forgot about Game Pass. There's lots of data out there. You know, there should be lots of data about streaming and gaming. Because I forgot Game Pass is a thing. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, even that, kind of what you're saying. Like, I don't use Game Pass every month, but it just goes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had it gone for a while. I mean,
and it's costing you more. And that's costing you more money. But you're okay with that?
I'm not okay with it. But it is what it is. I would rather pay and have Game Pass. I don't know. This is a totally different story than digital games.
Yeah.
This is a totally different conversation. But no, I'm not. And I wish, honestly, with that, that's a whole nother thing. That's something I shouldn't be paying for all the time. But now there's actually a game on there I do want to play that I am playing.
Yeah.
And do I want to spend $70 on that? Not really. But will I pay whatever Game Pass costs me a month and it's just there? Yeah, I will. Because there are other games on there that I play, and like it's on my Steam Deck. I have the xCloud on my Steam Deck, so I guess I do use it a little bit more than I'm realizing here. But I don't know. That's really not even the conversation. More of the conversation is the actual digital and physical games.
Right.
That we kind of got off track, but that's where we were at. That's what I wanted to talk about. We were kind of getting into the movies thing here.
Yeah.
About Best Buy, and they are going to stop selling DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yes. In Q1.
Now you thought for a second it was physical games too.
I did.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy. That would be wild.
Yeah.
At this point, I agree. At this point, yes, that would be absolutely insane. I mean, eventually we're going to see them do the same thing. I mean,
eventually, likely, unless there's a change in the industry, likely games will be going away too. I mean, that's kind of
that's what I'm saying. I mean, we saw. I mean,
kind of
that Microsoft leak where we saw the refresh that I guess is coming out next year of the Xbox Series X.
Yeah,
which is their more powerful option that has a disk drive right now, is not going to have a disk drive.
Right.
So they're going all in.
They're pushing,
I mean, we don't know. I guess
Pass.
they could have they could still have.
They're pushing Game Pass is their future.
Yeah, they are.
And they're making
they could have an external they could have an external disk drive or something that they sell. Like if you want to be able to play.
Yeah, like your old games. Not likely, but it's possible.
Yeah, and I feel like something like that, even if I don't know, man. And how much further does it go? That's the question. Like we can see it happening.
Yeah.
And I mean, is this the last generation?
No.
Of consoles that has a disk drive? Do you think that the PlayStation 6 has a disk drive?
Excuse me. Yes, I do. And the next Switch, I do think has a disk drive. An option for a disk drive, just like how in the refresh here for PlayStation 5, no longer is it assumed that you're going to have one, but just the option that you can have one. Like we talked about in the members podcast on Tuesday, it's kind of silly they're even offering the physical version to begin with, because the digital one is it's clearly the superior one because it gives you that option. They should just charge $399 and then an optional disc thing, and continue to sell the original PS5's disc version for $500 too, right? Like that probably would have been the smarter move, not smarter move, just
God, why? I don't know.
That makes more
whole
sense.
Thing is
the existence of the PS5 physical slim makes very little sense to me.
Yeah, especially when the disc drive is detachable. Yeah, it's like, why? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't want to get into that again.
Yeah, no,
it makes no sense. It's stupid.
No. But okay, let's reel this back into the Best Buy here. So like you said, they're getting rid of all physical media sales by Q1 of 2024. So not the very not distant future, the opposite of distant.
Oh wait, hold on.
Near future.
I didn't realize it was Q1. I thought they were just doing
Q1.
it by the end of the year.
They're phasing it out, and by Q1,
early 2024. Wow,
early 2024 is when they're phasing it out. So obviously that means that DVDs and Blu-rays is what they're talking about. They're not games.
Yeah.
But the writing's on the wall for gaming, and I kind of feel like while it is likely that's where the industry is going, to say that it's inevitable and it is what it is, Drip, like you keep saying, is what's bothering me about this conversation, because it doesn't have to be this way. And I get why digital is superior, but there are a ton of people who still like physical. And there is a world where you can combine digital and physical and make it make more sense than it does right now. Because right now, it doesn't make any sense for these companies to make these physical versions of games. It costs them more money. It costs them money to make.
Exactly.
It costs them money to ship. It costs them money to sell. Guess how much money it costs them to do that for digital games? Zero. Nothing. So obviously, I'm not an idiot. It makes sense that the industry moves this way. Here's what I'm asking. I, as a physical collector, want the option to buy physical. So I will pay a premium for this physical thing. So make the digital games cheaper and keep the physicals at the same price. Or if you want to go full capitalistic bullshit, raise the price of physical and keep selling the digital at the normal prices, which are already going up in rate, and raise the price of physical. I just want the option, okay? I also want the option for the future to be able to buy this game physical, because what I'm doing right now is I'm buying games digitally because I'm finding better deals for brand new games digitally via Nintendo's voucher service. I'm able to buy 2 games at once, save $20.
Yeah,
that's very important.
Good deal.
That's very important to me right now. So that's what I like to do. eShop, buy games on there, big deals on there. There are better deals for physical, but that's harder to do because it's throughout a bunch of different stores. And if I want to do it online, I got to pay shipping, and it sometimes cancels out the deals. So while there are better deals,
you're basically just paying. You're getting free shipping.
While there are better deals for physical, it's harder to do. Digital is much easier to do, especially with the eShop. I just want the option, the solution to the problem for these people, for the companies who don't want to pay for the physical costs of manufacturing and selling. The solution is make the consumer pay. As much as that's like anti-consumer sounding, it's not, because it's a thing to have. It's a thing to own.
No, I agree.
And for those of you guys who don't want it, that's great. And I want you to have that option to go digital. And I want that to be more convenient for you and all that. But I'm going to participate. I'll buy plenty of digital games. But I want the option to remain. To get rid of the option physical is ridiculous. And I'm not talking about an empty game case like they do these days. Like they'll sell you game cases with nothing in it, with a digital code.
Got a code,
I'm not
a piece
talking
of paper
about
and a code
that.
inside.
I mean, at one point I probably would have said yes, but no. I want a cartridge or a disc, and I want to own the game. I want to have it and play it and blow it off.
But what if there's not even a disc drive to even put it into? That's what I'm saying. Like, what if we get to that point?
I will concede. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I will concede.
But no, I understand what you're saying. I do like the idea of what you're saying.
An empty game case is better than no game case at all.
Yeah.
I don't want that, but it's better than nothing.
But if there's not a slot to put the game in, then what's the point in making it? But then maybe at that point you could have your physical thing. But I'll tell you this too, if you're really into, and I know maybe this isn't what well, we have the other problem too, which is actually where the game goes if the servers go down and things like that. Then you still just got a case. But you can get on like Etsy. People sell.
Yes, they do.
Game cases, like they just make them and they look perfect. They're great. So I mean, that would be, if you really want to be like, I have this, I'm going to order this.
It's not the same, though. It's not the same.
It's not the same. I understand it's not the same. But what you're saying is, like, let's say even if there wasn't a disc or whatever in the case, and you paid, like they had it somewhere where you could buy it. I don't think at this point GameStop or Best Buy is going to be selling these things. But if there's a place that you can get the physical box from Nintendo or whoever, maybe there's a new thing that pops up. I mean, how much extra are you willing to pay for that to have it?
Now, again, the capitalist bullshit of it all is it's gonna be like 20. If it were ever to happen that way, it'd be like between 10 and $20 at least, right? That's just the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, the manufacturing, the shipping, the cost of the material. I mean, yeah.
Again, not to get all worldly on us right now, but everybody knows is affected by inflation right now, and and they're going to inflate the prices of physical so high. If they were to go this route, it would go to an unreasonable point. It'd be like collector's editions, but all the time. That's probably what it would end up turning into.
Probably
because of capitalism.
That's an interesting thought too. That's actually a very.
It wouldn't be
thought.
Like here's a game case, there's nothing in it. It'd be like here's a really awesome collector's edition.
Yeah,
it's like,
they wouldn't be like here. Yeah, you're right.
It's 400% more because
there's a game code inside there.
Yeah,
but here you get like, it's just like, I mean, it happens now. Yeah. Can't remember the last huge. I don't know. Is the Spider-Man one a digital code? The Spider-Man 2, because it's got like a giant statue of Venom and the Spider like. It's awesome.
Because you think about it, they're not going to go, well, we can sell the digital for $60 and then we can sell the physical for $70, and it costs $5 manufacturer and $2 to sell and ship. So then we're going to make an extra profit margin of $2. They're going to go, that's not enough profit margin for us. We're going to go a big box where it's still the box is going to cost about $10, $15. but,
Yeah, but
we're
they
going to
can
sell
charge
it. Then we're going to sell
crazy
it for
prices for it,
$150 and make $100, not $2. That sounds like a good idea. That's what we're going to do. Evil capitalist people, and that's what's going to happen. And
You're not wrong there.
And that's not the solution either, because this is what I want. And I want to grab a cartridge or a game and like hold it in years, not just about the box. Although I like my boxes. I had Mrs. G buy that for me for Christmas last year, that Japanese version of Scarlet and Violet double pack box. That's a beautiful box. I do love my boxes
and I mean,
too.
I think that just comes down to preference, because like I don't care about the boxes. I just want to play the games.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like a big collector's edition with some cool stuff, yeah, all right, I'm in. Like it's got a statue in it or like something. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah, but I don't want that for every game. I don't want a collector's edition.
No,
and that's what what it would turn into if that's the world we chose.
No, I mean that's not the solution. The solution, I think, there's several. You're right. Passing the price on to the consumer, I guess, would be one. Not a lot of people are going to love that, but the biggest problem, I think, is just preservation of these games. People need to know that they're not going to go away. That's the biggest concern with the all digital stuff.
I know, and we're never going to have that. That's never.
That something needs to happen with that. And I think we've talked about this before.
I don't think so.
Really? I feel like we have.
Maybe in a past podcast. Actually,
I feel like that's got to be figured out. Like if they really are going to do this entire digital thing, like they've got to put people's minds at ease and let them know, like, no, this lives at this place. It's never going away. You know, you can download it all the time. It's not going away. These servers will not be taken down. And that's just how it will be going forward. They have dedicated places for game preservation.
Yeah.
Somebody, I mean, one of these companies eventually has to take that a little bit more seriously, because people are obviously very concerned about it. And with good reason, because we do see these games just disappear sometimes. And I mean, again, even if you have the physical version of the game, sometimes you don't have the actual game. You've got the shitty one that they pumped out to make sure it hit the release date.
Yeah.
And then you're missing all the patches. I told you today when we were on the phone, just like, it's an older example, but Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Like whenever that one is gone or whatever, like there's a version of that game that you have on a disc that's just completely broken.
Here's a good version that's not. Here's a good example. That's a good one, Drip. Here's another good one, but in a different way. Mario Golf. Think about that. Imagine only preserving the original cartridge of Mario Golf, day one cartridge.
It's like half the game.
It's not less than half the game.
Yeah.
You get to hit the golf ball. That's true. And what else you get to do? Not a whole lot.
Like half the courses aren't there. Half the player, half the courses, half the characters. Modes, there's modes that aren't there.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat on the Switch right now came out like dog shit, and they fixed it. So
it's still dog shit. I saw a video.
It's still not great, but yeah. It's just that's a big problem too. I mean, not having that stuff preserved somewhere. So even if you, because like it or not, digital, physical, whatever, things have the way things happen in gaming has completely changed, but the media has stayed the same. It's still a disc. I mean, we have the digital option, but the way that they push patches, the way that they've done things, there's no, I don't know. It's different, and there's been no push to remedy that as far as preservation.
Yeah, let's be clear here. I think I want to be clear. I'm speaking for myself. You can agree if you do. This is not an issue of costs. This is an issue of profit margins, and that's what bothers me. The biggest thing about this is that's what I've said it multiple times, and obviously you know how I feel about capitalism at this point. But it's what they care most about, these companies. What they're caring most about is the profit margins.
Yeah,
and that's what's driving me. It's not it's not the customers, not the people who work for them. It's the profit margins, and that's what drives me the most insane about this whole thing.
I know you don't like that, but I mean that is it. I mean, they're trying to make money.
You say you don't like that. You like it?
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I understand it. I mean, profit margins. Yes, that's what business is about. Making money. That's why you have a business. It's not to be buddy with the people buying your stuff. It's to make money.
Well, I mean,
I know that sounds like shit. That sounds bad, but it's the truth.
It's not bad, because that is the purpose of business. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know. I understand what you're saying. It does suck, but it's like, I mean, think about it. If you owned a business and you could save a ton of money by delivering that same end product, maybe not the box, but you could deliver that same product for a fraction of the cost. I mean, not a fraction, but way cheaper. I mean, as a business owner, would you not at least look into that?
Well, no, if it's going to help I'm not the same person that's running these businesses. Like me, Geeb is not the same person as, Jeff Bezos or, any of those other rich people who are running businesses trying to save for profit margins. I don't think the same as they do. Because I'm not the same person as them, and I don't think the same way they do. So, no, and yes, I would look into ways to save money for my business, but I also wouldn't be looking for ways to save, or not save. We're not talking about saving money here. We're talking about adding more, because they have these big businesses. They have what they have, they as much as they do. They have a ton. They're very wealthy. They're just looking for even more. And would you say, would I be looking for even more? Sure. But at what point? This is no longer a gaming conversation, and we're going to stop this. Because I don't think people here really want to hear our political opinions.
I mean, it is what it is. It's
gaming.
It's business. They're trying to maximize profits, which
is it the right thing to do for the consumer? Because at the end of the day, however you feel about the politics of the matter, we're still all consumers here, and that's
But I mean, they don't care.
You Drip, our consumer. The people listening to this podcast are consumers. They don't care about you. And this move is not to help you because it's more convenient for digital games. This move is to squeeze more money out of your wallets. That's why this is the conversation we're trying to have tonight.
Well, it's not really squeezing more money out of your wallet. It's more just not having to put as much in to get that money out of your wallet.
It's going no. That's where I'm saying you're short-sighted, because you're missing the point of what they're doing. They're not doing it. It starts with just getting rid of a game card holder, a game sleeve. It starts with that, and it ends up being a subscription service that costs you way more money in the first place. That's the world we're going to. We're headed toward a subscription model of gaming where they're all virtual, and it's like the Netflix of gaming, and that's like Game Pass. That's the world we're headed to.
See,
for all games, and I think that's a bad world to live in. I think there's a place for Game Pass in the ecosystem of gaming, but it's not. It is. There is no place to get rid of the system we currently have to replace it with subscriptions. That's bad for the consumer. It is bad for the consumer.
I don't know. I mean, maybe far off that could be something. I don't see Nintendo going that way. I mean, it's possible. You're very right. It's possible. Game Pass is working, but look how long it's taken to get this actually working to a point where it's like, yeah, this is the thing. And they're still not, like, they're still trying to get these game studios to get these games out. So they're actually putting their first party games on there. Because they don't have, like,
can you answer the question?
They still are not putting out the games they should be putting out.
And what's the definition of working? Because to my knowledge, if Microsoft wasn't, or excuse me, if Xbox wasn't owned by Microsoft, Xbox would have already folded as a company. I'm not sure. They would have already failed. No.
There's a long-term plan with this. That's what I'm saying. It's just now starting to really. They've put crazy amounts of money into this to make this a thing, and there's a long-term plan clearly, which we see evolving. Because I remember when it was first announced, I was like, "This is crazy. This will never work." But I mean, the further and further we get into it, you can see all right, it's working, but at what cost to them to get this actually to the point where they want it to be. You're right. If it wasn't Microsoft doing it, nobody would do this. Nintendo doesn't have the money to put in like that.
Almost nobody, really. Who? I mean, like Amazon, Apple. I'm just thinking of rich companies in the universe. Like,
and Google, Amazon's got theirs. They've got what, Luna? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So there are very few who can't afford to do this. It's not a profitable thing right now.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there could be a time where we see this stuff actually work for Microsoft way down the road once everything's happened, and then Nintendo says, okay, that's the way you get there, but they've already done it and it's normalized now, so it's not going to cost us nearly as much. I could see them maybe going in that direction then, but that's going to take a long time.
And by the way, Game Pass right now is $15 or $20, whatever it is.
Yeah,
depending on, or $10 or between 10 and 20. That's what it is now. You're a fool if you think it's staying there forever. You're just a fool.
Oh no, it's definitely.
we can use history to our advantage and look at YouTube TV as an example I'm going to bring up here.
Yeah.
YouTube TV, when YouTube TV came out, was advertising way less than cable. There was in their advertisements. Actually, most recently, they in a courtroom they were forced to stop saying in their ads they were $600 cheaper than cable because literally they're no longer $600 cheaper than cable. They're like
it's almost the same price.
It's almost the same price. But like again,
what is it? $80?
To my point, it started at $35, and that was such a good deal. And they probably were losing money.
Yeah,
and,
I got in at 50, and I was like, hell yeah, this is great.
Right. And 50 wasn't that long ago, really.
No, it wasn't. It was like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah. And now it's like almost $80. And they've raised the price like 2 times in the past year or something like that. Like it's went from like 60 something to 70 and now 70 to 80 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The point is, that's another example of how bad subscription models are for the consumer. Netflix starts at $5. Different time period, obviously. That's the different inflation, But now it's like, I guess you can get ads. You can get the ad version for a little bit more, but who wants ads? Nobody. That's why we're forgetting the reason we got off this cable from the first place. It's for the fucking ads. Nobody wants the ads. So history's repeating itself. It's just for tech history. It's a lot shorter of a time period than real history, and we can use this to our advantage. And look, it wasn't that long ago in history. It wasn't tech, but in history, 10 years ago was not that long ago. We can see where this is going. This is a bad place to go. And
the subscription stuff, I agree. Let me ask you this, because we didn't talk about this, and I kind of wanted to ask you how you feel about this, because I know where you're at on the gaming stuff as far as physical games. So we don't need to cover that again, but I want to ask you about something else, because this is what I'm curious about. Do you feel the same way about movies, music, physical, actual, like DVDs? Is that something that you collect? I know you have vinyls. Vinyl's different, I feel. I feel like vinyl is a completely different thing.
It is not. It is the same exact. This is just what I could grab with my hand, and I have about 20 more handfuls like this. And there's what?
Okay.
20 vinyl.
But I'm not
here.
asking about vinyl. I understand collecting vinyl. That's like a thing.
Okay.
That's never going to go away. I'm asking you, when's the last time you bought a CD?
Not that long ago. And guess what? It's in my car.
Really?
Because they're cheap now. At least they were when I bought it. That's probably a couple years ago. I bought Billy Joel Best Hits. There's like 30 songs on there for like $1. Literally $1. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll put it on the car. Sometimes I don't want to deal with Bluetooth. A lot of times I don't want to deal with Bluetooth. I bought a new release, even. If you think I'm only buying old stuff like Billy Joel, I bought Silk Sonic, their first self-titled album, Silk Sonic, with Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. Fucking fire album. Too short, if I may say so, if I'm getting musical critical here. But beautiful album. I bought it on as a CD because first of all, I wanted to support them as artists, because not that they need it. I know they're very rich, but I wanted to, because I enjoy the music and art that they put out there. I wanted to actually support them with real dollars, not streaming service dollars. Because by the way, if you didn't know, again, if you want to look at music in the streaming service, that's hurting music. I'm sure you know all about that, Drip. So again, my point is my point only gets stronger.
I'm looking for an opinion. Okay, what about movies? When's the last time you bought like a Blu-ray?
So I am 28. I'll be 29 this year. I'm not somebody who bought too many movies in my life. Because it just wasn't the right, like when I was of age to buy stuff, we were in the transition of DVD to Blu-ray, and when I was a kid, it was VHS, and I wasn't buying VHS as a kid. So like, obviously, it was a weird time to buy physical media when I was of age to buy. I was buying Blu-rays for discounted prices, because they were, even then they weren't getting bought. But I'm like, I want to own Star Wars. That's like something I want to do. And I have most of the movies. I think I have 7 of the 9 of the Skywalker trilogy, and I would like to get the last 2, because I want that. And do I watch them very much? I did before Disney Plus, and then Disney Plus came around and put them on there, and it was pointless.
It's easier to just throw it on there.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like even back before streaming services, I wasn't buying physical, like movies or seasons of TV shows. I buy everything through Apple. That's where I got all of it from.
And you remind me of my story I quickly want to tell. I have a story.
Like,
so
I
just
bought, what did I just buy on there? Mario? Yeah. Was that where we bought it from? I don't know. We bought it. That's where the second Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah. So
bought that.
Like I said, I wasn't buying too much stuff as a kid, but when I was a kid, iPods were a thing, and video iPods were becoming a thing.
Oh, yeah. It was like, it looked like a phone. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. So I do have some movies and TV. I have like the full season 1 of Angry Beavers. For you guys that know what Angry Beavers are, I bought one of the last things I bought there before I stopped buying stuff was the first Avatar movie. I have digitally with Apple that I bought when I was younger.
Nice.
But guess what, Drip? And again, makes my argument even stronger. It's really hard to weaken my argument, to be honest. But guess what? Guess what? I can't watch any of that stuff. You know why?
Why?
Because that account is locked out. I was locked out of that account, and I have no access to it. I've tried.
For what reason?
To be clear, like I said, it was an account that I had when I was a kid, and it was an Apple stuff, and I eventually moved on to Android and completely forgot about all the Apple stuff. And it wasn't until a few years ago I was like, I want to have access to that stuff again. I bought it. After all, I should have access to it.
Yeah, I would call. I'm sure they can get you in.
Calling may work, but I've tried everything I can with the computer. I've tried all that stuff. But that account I'm just locked out of, and I would have no way of proving that I own that account. I don't have access to that original email. I don't even remember I don't even know if I have the original username even. And that's one of the biggest problems with digital media is that possibility of you losing it, whether it's your own fault or the company decides to take it down and you don't get it and you lose it that way. But in my case, it's innocent enough. I was younger. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I should have kept that email and remembered that password.
I would look into that a little bit harder. There's probably a way you can get that stuff back, I would say. But yeah, that does suck. I mean, I don't know. I have all my stuff in those types of places. It's just easier. It's easier than having a big wall of movies.
It's easier
nice
until those services change or get rid of that stuff. Like, I bought a movie on Google Play Movies before it was Google Play Movies. It was called like Play Movies or whatever, because Google does weird stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Luckily, they transferred those purchases to their new apps.
Yeah.
That's not a guarantee. There's certain once
that
service ends, they can absolutely say those purchases are no longer valid because they was on the old service.
Apple kind of did the same thing. They changed all their stuff around, and now it's just whatever Apple TV, and then you can get Apple TV Plus, which is their streaming service on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know, man. You could lose physical stuff like that.
You can.
I mean,
they can
break in your house and take your shit.
Some people can physically steal stuff. Your stuff can physically break. Your consoles that you play that stuff can break. There could be no replacement parts or very little to actually fix the console, which that's a flimsy argument. I'm not saying it's foolproof, that physical is perfect. I'm saying it's better than the latter.
Yeah, I mean, getting locked out, that sucks. That does suck. That's a little bit on you, though.
I was 13, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a little bit on you too.
Old man Drip, you know that how many emails have you lost access to, Drip? I'm sure there's a bunch.
A lot.
So don't be like that.
A bunch. It's on me.
It can happen to
anybody,
but it can happen to anyone. It's too easy.
It can. But also anyone can have their house broken into and all their DVDs stolen too.
What's more likely? You forget your email or someone breaks in your house? Probably the email.
Probably the email.
Probably by a significant
Might want to just write that down. Lock your doors. Lock your doors and write down your email.
Anyway, this podcast I thought was going to be way more organized than what it was. That's mostly my fault. This conversation, it's such a broad conversation that involves,
I know there's so much.
It's just too much to really. There's so much I wanted to say about it, and there's still more I want to, but it's just hard to get it all out while keeping an episode together and whatever. It's just too hard. It's too hard. Hopefully this was an enjoyable conversation, I hope. Obviously, our podcast is. I think Drip. I pride ourselves. I pride myself, and hopefully you do too, that this podcast is not like another podcast. This podcast is a conversation that hopefully it feels.
It is.
Hopefully,
yeah.
it
I mean,
feels,
that's kind of been the whole thing.
Yeah.
As we've been doing this anyway, it's just we're just talking.
I don't want it to feel like a traditional podcast or piece of content in general that's very structured. I like the fact that we're very unstructured, but it's almost like controlling the chaos. While I want the chaos of the unstructuredness, this episode we probably didn't do as good a job controlling that chaos as we wanted to.
That's all right. We did
but
our
that's
best.
Okay. Sometimes it gets like that, but anyway. Yeah, man. I'm so out of it. How long have we been doing this episode? I have no idea. This could be an hour long. I think it's like over an hour long at this point. I don't know. But
we're at an hour 20 right now.
Yeah, so. I think we're gonna call it a wrap here. This was definitely an interesting episode. Hopefully, it got you guys thinking. Hopefully, you guys are if you want to write in the comments, if you're on audio platforms, you can go ahead and add us on Twitter, some of your thoughts, go in the Discord. There's plenty of places you guys can hit us up with your if you want to respond to things that we had said. Feel free to do that down below in the links down below. Those of you in the stream, we're gonna hang out for a little bit. I do need to get going. It could have cut the after show a little bit short. I think. What were we doing that for? I can't remember what we were doing that for.
Because you're streaming. That's
right. I literally almost forgot. I'm streaming after this. Almost forgot. I'm streaming after this, so that's gonna happen. Dude, don't drink 3 beers before a podcast. That's what I need to not do in the future.
All right.
So we're gonna end this podcast. It's gonna be a fun stream.
Can't wait. Can't wait to watch this one.
We're gonna end this podcast, guys. In the stream, hang out for a minute. We're gonna talk to you guys. But those of you listening on the audio side of things, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Oh, it's the after show. Welcome everybody to the after show. The Drip and Geeb after show is brought to you.
How you feeling, Geeb?
I'm not even tipsy. I'm just. It's more of like.
You got a lot of stuff going on in your head. I understand.
A lot of stuff going on in the head. Yeah. Let me put these back. These stacks of records. I love my records, man. I keep
I mean, I feel like that's like a whole different thing.
I buy extra sleeves to like keep them all nice
like
and
protective sleeves.
No, these are like
even like my oldest has
sleeves.
She's got like Taylor Swift vinyls and stuff. Like it's whatever. I mean, I feel like that's a completely different thing.
This ain't no Taylor Swift, my friend. This is Hold Your Fire.
Okay, I'm talking about my daughter.
If only Megaboy was watching. Here's a good one. Right after that, you know this album.
Oh yeah, was that the first album? Yeah, wow. That's old.
Hybrid Theory. We got Billy Joel the Stranger. Look, someone wrote their freaking name on this. This is from like the era. That's why I like collecting these. Like, can you see? There you go. Wait. Gorman or something?
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Like someone just wrote fucking their name on it with pen. Oh, Gorman. Oh, Gorman.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like collecting vinyl is something that's just, I don't know. You don't see anybody out here like really collecting VHS tapes. You know what I mean? Like vinyl is a pretty normal thing to collect. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who collect VHS tapes.
I think, especially the Disney stuff.
Yeah. Okay, it's.
I know. Understand.
All I'm saying is,
collecting
vinyl is way more of like a mainstream thing, especially now.
Yeah.
Than anything like that.
Actually, believe it or not, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if there's Gen X, is it Gen X? Who's the youngest generation right now? Gen X.
Sure.
Whatever the younger people these days, I believe that they are rediscovering CDs now, and CDs and cassette tapes are becoming the new thing to collect. Like my generation's collecting vinyl right now because my parents listen to vinyl, so like
yeah.
So their parents listen to CDs and cassettes, and they're just rediscovering that right now. So that's like the new thing.
I don't want any of it. None of it. I just wanted to put a chip in my head and it'll all be stored there. Right there. I can just think about a song and it'll just play in my head. It'd be great. Don't even need headphones.
You can have, I want you to have your options. If you want to put a fucking chip in your head, Drip, you know what? Sign your waiver. It's yours.
But be sweet, right?
But for me, I would very much like to keep playing my Nintendo Switch with my stupid cartridges and my stupid game cases I can put on my stupid shelf. Can I have that? Am I allowed?
I mean, you can for a little bit longer.
Digital, am I allowed to have what I want? Like
I want you to have it. I just don't think you're gonna have it. That's the thing. Like, it's not that I don't want you to have this. I don't care if they make physical games or not. I'm not gonna be buying them either way. I want you to be able to do that. I just don't think it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think it's worse for consumers, and that's what I think. Not just me, but consumers
as a whole, it is. As a whole, it definitely is. Because there are a pretty large group of people out there. Trust me, my comment section from my YouTube short the other day let me know about it very, very quickly. There are a large group of people out there who want physical media when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
Large. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's definitely not consumer friendly, but at this point,
I
they're
would
just
go to
like,
say, Drip, that it's the vast majority. I really would.
I would say that too. I'm definitely the minority on this for sure. As far as wanting to go all digital completely, I don't have a whole lot of people in my comment sections when I make videos about digital stuff going like, yeah, awesome, love digital. There's a few. There are a few.
Yeah.
But I know that I am not. I know
What's up, Winslow?
I understand that I'm not the majority.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Winnie was typing stuff in the chat earlier. I couldn't read it because we were talking. I'm gonna take a look at that, Winnie. Yep. Yeah, I know, Winnie. It's never gonna happen. Paying for these subscriptions, people are gonna keep paying for them. I understand. I'm one of them. I'm one of the people who pay for the subscriptions.
Do have Disney VHS tapes too. I don't have any now, man. When I was a kid, I had them like, we had all of them.
I'm sorry. Were you in the middle of thought?
No,
okay.
That was it.
Winslow was saying in the chat here roughly. Basically, they start off with 32 gigs. How are you gonna store those games on a 32 gig console? And that's a very good point. I know they have 64 gig consoles now. That's still not enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think at this point,
close to enough. We need like 500 to a terabyte the next system. It's gonna need to be especially as the future as almost inevitable as it is. We really do need way more storage than we get. PS5s and Xboxes need to be like 2 terabytes standard, and it's not that. They only just upped it to a terabyte standard, the Series S, and it costs more. Like, it's all about the profit, man. They're just trying to, because that doesn't cost very much to add a terabyte versus 50, but they did it.
Storage
and they
at this point is
$100
cheap.
more.
Yeah, storage at this point is cheap.
It has been for a while too.
Yeah. Yeah, upcharging for storage like that. Apple does that.
They've always done
ridiculously.
Even
we
when
talked
storage
about that
wasn't
before I
as
bought
cheap.
my iPad. Remember when I was standing outside in that parking lot talking about storage and stuff? I ended up going with the smallest one.
Yeah. Apple
the
has
256.
Apple has been charging too much for storage since storage was still expensive. Storage, SD cards like a 32 gigabyte SD card probably was like $50, and they were still giving you an 8 gigabyte iPhone.
Yeah,
you know. 8 gigabyte.
Yeah,
iPhone
I mean the
next
Switch, the Switch 2, especially if there isn't all. That's the thing. You would think. I mean, I feel like that's. It's so weird because you sit here and think about the all digital Switch too, right? And you think, okay, the price will probably be lower because it's all digital. And then where can they cut costs? I mentioned this earlier. Be like, okay, it has less storage, but like that's the one you want to have more storage.
Yeah.
So what if they are the same price?
It wouldn't be.
Instead of being cheaper.
It just wouldn't be.
Because what's the report say? A $50 difference? I mean, what if it's the same? What if they just make it the same price, but the other one just has more storage?
And I don't know. There's so many different ways they could go with it. I just don't know.
Because I feel like, man, and I know like everyone says like in most people's heads, the digital version is like the lesser version. But like I would like to see a premium edition of a digital version that has a ton of storage in it, that has, all the other things that you would need to make the digital experience better.
Explain to me why. I understand for a PlayStation because that's a big disk drive. why for a Switch does it matter that it doesn't have a cartridge slot? There, you see how small they are. It's not like it's making your system any bigger. It would make zero difference for the system to have a cartridge slot or not. So why is it so important to not have them?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not, but I mean, my Steam Deck doesn't have one.
It could, though. You could fit 15 cartridge slots in that thing.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
I mean,
be
you could if they had games that were on cartridges like that, but
Yeah.
it's digital. It's fine.
Well, Steam is also a way different beast because I love Steam. Steam has been.
It is.
Steam.
But yeah,
I've been using
PC's
Steam.
been digital forever.
I've been using Steam for a very, very long time, and all my old games I purchased and all my new games are in the same place and operate the same. Steam's great. It's all cloud-based. It's beautiful, actually. But if they can cancel Steam, Steam could go under tomorrow. And where do my games go? Under as well. Not that Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox are going under, and maybe Valve
Or Steam, for
Steam's
that matter.
probably, especially nowadays with the Steam Deck. But you understand the point is that, like, in 50 years, I'm not going to have my stupid copy of Banana Ball that I purchased, or whatever I'm just making something up. Like, you know what I mean?
Banana
Like,
Ball.
like I want to play fucking Banana Ball when I'm 80 because I'm gonna be like, remember that time I played Banana Ball? Let's break it out. Like, I'm talking to my uncle who's in his 50s. He reminisces about all his old consoles and how he wishes he could play those games, and he lost the system, so he can't play it anymore. But if he didn't lose
What games? But he probably can. That's
like
the thing.
like the old stuff, like Atari generation, pre-Atari, like that stuff, like those consoles, those things he lost, sold. That console,
all that.
that thing sucks, dude.
Got it all right
It's
there.
a
You can hook a
Raspberry
controller
Pi.
up to
It
it.
sucks.
You can hook a controller right up to that thing.
But that's actually piracy, and that's bad. That's not what we're talking about.
That's what I heard.
And Drip, some people
heard.
actually like the feeling and the experience, I should say, of gaming. You don't give a fuck about the experience. You could play with a controller made of dildos and you'd be just happy. Who cares? I'm
Well,
playing
I don't
the
know
game.
about that.
But
I'm kind of particular about my controllers, thank you.
I don't want to. My experience of gaming is not to be played on a Raspberry Pi. I'm sorry. I don't like that. They're buggy. There's issues. There's glitches. I don't want life like that. A dedicated
I
emulator,
feel
maybe.
like-
A dedicated emulator, maybe. But again, that's a different conversation altogether.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I'm emulating on that thing is, I don't know. It's fine with Super Nintendo games. It's fine with Nintendo games. Anything beyond that, I mean, yeah, it has, you know, it's questionable, that's for sure. But those other ones, it's fine. As long as you're not going crazy with it.
Full Metal, I don't think it makes a damn difference heat-wise. Maybe if we're talking about a disc thing. I think that disc is real estate. It's nothing to do with heat. That's all about the real estate of how big it takes up in the console. As far as cartridge on the Switch, I don't think there's any added heat going on there. An SD card doesn't get hot. You know what I mean? They're basically just SD cards, just larger.
Yeah,
So,
it's just, I mean, it's just reading.
Yeah, there's no, yeah. If there was a fan on it, then there'd be heat involved. But there's no fan on. There's no heat. There's heat, but not a significant amount. Save battery. No, definitely not. Full Metal. Definitely not. What's up, Adrian? Adrian, is that how you say that? Adrian. If that's Adrian, that's a very interesting way to spell Adrian.
Yeah,
Never seen that before.
That is what it is.
My Miu has all those though. Is that you're talking about I think that's a handheld emulator thing? I
Yes.
get it. A 50-year-old though, who's in his, they're not going to want to mess with that. He doesn't want to mess with it. He
Yeah,
wants to play
I
the
mean,
games. He doesn't want to just play the games. He wants to experience what he experienced when he was young. That's the disconnect here.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to just play the game. He wants to have the experience.
And I'm the same way, even though I'm not.
The nostalgia.
That gap is
I get that.
You know?
Yeah. I understand it.
I'm going to
To
hold
each
on
their
to a
own.
Game Boy Advance because one day I'm going to want to boot a Game Boy Advance and hear that shitty speaker make that shitty sound. But I'm going to want to hear that because it's the experience and the memories it brings. It's more than it can. That's something I want to talk about tonight. Again, there's so many things I want to talk about tonight. The consumption. You are, Drip, again, no offense here. It's just you are a consumer. And not that I'm not, but I'm going to make my point here. You're consuming this stuff like a meal. And you almost want to just scarf it. Me, I want to, I not that I don't scarf games, Tears of the Kingdom. But it's more, sometimes, a lot of times, I want to really, what's the words I'm looking for here? Do you know what I mean? Though, like, I really want to experience my meal.
I don't know what
I want to
this is.
I want to go to it's like I want to go to a fancy restaurant, taste a really expensive steak, not because I could go to a cheap place and get a cheap steak and be just as happy and filled, but I want to go to an expensive place and really kind of get that Brazilian meat in my mouth, so it's
savor.
Savor it.
That's it. That's the word.
Or I want to be nostalgic and remember those times when I was playing on that terrible TV and my face was 5 inches from the screen, and I have those memories, you know? And you just want to eat. And you don't really care how you do it as long as it's available to you and in a convenient way.
Yes. Convenience. That's what I want.
I'm not about convenience. I'm about the others. I am, to some regard. I have plenty of digital games. But sometimes you lose that. You don't lose that. Sorry, you do lose that experience when you're talking about convenience only. You're losing the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you are. But I mean,
you didn't get to go to GameStop and buy the Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition.
I didn't.
Because you didn't care.
I didn't.
And I cared.
Okay. I'm with you on this, man. Yeah. I get it. I don't want them to take away your physical media. I don't want them to do it, but it's probably gonna happen. Tis what it is.
Excuse me, Jesus. My plague is still present, if that wasn't noticeable. It won't go, man. It just won't go. That was the worst cough I've had in a while. Man. Yeah, Full Metal. A lot of people are like that. And don't get me wrong, I sell games all the time. I only want to keep the games that some people are like. I'm gonna use Beat 'em Ups as an example because Beat 'em Ups is a widely known Nintendo YouTuber, so you've probably seen his setup. Dude has a bajillion games. He has every Switch game. He's a store, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's more than a store. He's got twice as many games as a store does.
Yeah.
That's not what I don't want to be that guy. I just want to keep the games that mean most to me, you know? And, And I get people don't want the clutter. I think you're one of those people, Drip. You don't want the stuff. And I don't want all the stuff either, but...
Well, I do want stuff. I just don't want that stuff.
The stuff.
I want more room for other
meaning
stuff.
The games. You don't want the stuff as in the games. Like you don't.
I just want the game. I don't need...
You want to be able to experience the game. You want to consume the game.
Yeah, that's it. I want to save the room on my shelves for, like, you know, a sweet Lego build. Or something stupid like that. I'd rather put something else there than a bunch of cases.
But if someone told you, Drip, hey, guess what? We're taking all your Legos away. You don't get to build any Legos, but you get to play Minecraft. How would you feel about that?
It's completely different.
No, it's not.
They're two different things.
Not Minecraft.
Yes, it's completely different.
Not Minecraft. Digital Lego. They're phasing out physical Legos.
But there's never been, again, two different things. Two different things. The video game that I buy digitally and the video game that you buy physically still play exactly the same. They are the same thing. I would be fucking pissed about that.
The experience,
if you told me I had to build Legos
changes,
digitally.
The experience changes because I didn't get you. I did not. If the Tears Kingdom was only digital and there was no collection edition, I wouldn't have been able to experience that night of getting the game.
But you would still be playing the game the exact same way.
Yes.
Yes.
But the experience changes.
Okay, that's fine. But you're talking about
why go to an amusement park? You can get a slide for your backyard and slide all you fucking want.
Again, two different things.
Or you go to pay for an amusement park to experience the amusement park and slide there. You could throw a backyard party, or you could
two different things.
Go to an event. It's not really.
It is though. It is. When you're talking about a video game that you bought digitally and a video game that you bought physically, those are the exact same thing as far as the experience you have playing the game. They are exactly the same.
But I'm saying there's more to a video game than just the playing the game portion. There's more to it.
I understand, but you're okay, that's fine. I understand what you mean. Your analogies are not good.
No, they're
not. That's the problem.
I never said they were. I'm bad at analogies. I love my analogies. I'm just bad at it.
Yeah, I understand, and I agree with you on that. The people who want that experience, I want them to have that experience.
I'm just trying to help you understand my side.
I do understand. I don't need help. I do get it. I understand. I have a different opinion about it. That's all it is.
Yes, you do. It's quite all right. You can have your. Like I said, keep your digital shit.
I want you to keep your physical shit.
Thank you, Drip. I love you.
I love you too, man. Damn.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, let's get off here, man. You got to stream.
I got to stream. We're playing Luigi's Mansion.
It's almost 10. I need to. God.
If you guys want to hang out, we're playing Luigi's Mansion. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna put you on the TV down here.
Twitch.
I have to
TV.
finish folding my laundry.
/ Uncle Geeb. Twitch.tv / Uncle Geeb. We're going right there. See you guys there. Appreciate you guys.
Goodbye, everybody.